On Friday, November 27, 2025, the price of silver broke out to close at all-time new high ground. And for those who believe that this is just the beginning or a portent of good silver pricing to come over the next 12 to 24 months, what's the best way to play silver? Physical, coins, wafers, ingots, ETFs, futures and options, shares in silver mining companies. Hi, George Sanders, President, Goldcliff Resource Corporation. And like you, we're very excited over the weekend with Friday's move, historic move really, in the price of silver. Many of you will be tuning in here for the first time. You haven't really followed Goldcliff before. We're not going to provide another commentary on silver. You've probably spent the entire weekend consuming articles and videos and other content, both technical and fundamental analysis about the silver price. What we'd like to do in this short video is present to you a highly leveraged way to participate in the silver price move without expending a huge amount of money, and that way that leverage very simply occurs by becoming a shareholder in junior exploration companies that are exploring for new silver mineralization. Goldcliff is one such company, and we'd like to quickly touch on two of our active silver assets and conclude by showing you where the leverage exists in junior exploration companies looking for new silver mineralization. We have two assets, a silver focused asset and a silver gold asset in the company's portfolio, and both of these assets, the Ainsworth Silver Project and the Kettle Valley Gold Silver Project, there's lots of information, and we've produced lots of videos on both of those projects. In the description below you will find a link to the Ainsworth video playlist and a link below to the Kettle Valley video playlist, and we encourage you to take a peek at least some of those to get a flavor for the background of the assets, because I'm not going to go into them in any detail in this video. The Ainsworth property is 100% owned by the company. It was acquired by staking, so there are no royalties or work commitments or obligations. We've been active in the company for over a decade. We originally went into the Ainsworth district with an event in mind, like what happened this past week, and silver moving into all-time high ground, and we wanted some exposure in the company's portfolio to that price move in that precious metal. In the area of this historic silver mining camp where Goldcliff has focused, which is in the southern part of the district, is a unique component because the grades are an order of magnitude higher than the rest of the silver grades mined throughout the Ainsworth district. We're talking grades in excess of 1 kilo per ton. The number one mine, which is the area of our immediate focus, was the largest silver producer in the camp, even though it was a very small operation. The mine only ever produced 40,000 tons of ore, so barely more than a bulk sample by today's standards, but the grades were very high, almost 50 ounces to the short ton, or a little better than 1,500 grams per ton, per metric ton. And you can see from this photo that Goldcliff's activities in and around the number one mine have been able to verify those very high grades in the district. The mine produced just under 2 million ounces, which made it the largest of the dozens of little mines that produced in the area. You know, this district in southern British Columbia, it's in Canada, so all of our operating expenses are in Canadian dollars. So rather than do a foreign exchange thing, we like to think of the metal prices in terms of their Canadian dollar equivalent. So many of you out there who've been consuming the silver price content over the weekend have been hearing forecasts of $75. Well, in Canadian dollars, the silver price is already at $75. So the grades in this part of the district and in this part of British Columbia are extremely compelling. That small amount of production in today's dollars would have generated revenue of over 150 million Canadian dollars. So these additional modest lenses for which on which our exploration activities are focused are very high value. They will sustain the costs of off-site processing, so custom milling expenses and the shipping or the trucking costs of the ore to a custom mill, and still provide a good margin. We believe that, and that's the focus of our exploration activities. I'll come back to that in the close. At Kettle Valley, those of you who've been following the company know that there's been some recent new information generated in the first 2 weeks of November. Very exciting. We've put news release out, and there's a couple of videos. Again, the link to the Kettle Valley video playlist. We've always talked about it as a gold deposit, but in fact, the primary mineralization at Kettle Valley is silver. Here's a picture of the original mini boulder piece of float that traveled quite a bit down into a valley. The vendor of the property saw this and sampled it. It ran 2.38 grams, I believe, gold, and 43.49 grams silver. So in that sample, there's over 18 times more silver content than gold content. After a couple of seasons of exploration activity, looking for the upslope or top of the cliff region where these float material, these little boulders, might have emanated from, we encountered some other in a different rock type, and that's very significant to what's going on at Kettle Valley. But you can see these are two of our best samples sampled on the property. You can see that those rocks look quite a bit different from the first picture. The one 2.62 grams of gold and 181 grams silver. That's 69 times more silver than gold. And the other sample with a little bit more modest silver grade of 93 grams per ton came out of 1.79 grams per ton gold. So again, 51, almost 52 times more silver than gold. I can also tell you that other prospecting rock sampling in and around the half gram to a gram range that were found various places on the property also had a silver grade of minimum 30 times, most of them 45 to 55 times. So this is really a silver deposit with a lot of gold content. That's not uncommon for epithermal deposits. The famous Comstock lode that kicked off all gold and silver mining in the Walker Lane district in Nevada in the 1860s. That's well known as the Comstock Silver produced well over 100 million ounces of silver, but it also produced 8 million ounces of gold. So the gold and silver occurring together in epithermal deposits is not only not rare, it's more the case than not. In fact, most silver is derived as a byproduct or a co-product of other minerals as opposed to standalone silver deposits. So at Ainsworth, silver comes with the base metals lead and silver. As I just explained, there's a lot of silver that comes with gold. You also find silver in copper deposits. So it really makes no difference to the silver investor if there are other minerals with the silver, as long as there is a good silver content to the mine or to the deposit. To sum up here, on either Ainsworth or Kettle Valley, we don't yet have a resource. We haven't even identified a deposit yet. However, we're not priced as if we've identified a deposit or have a resource. The current market valuation of Goldcliff is 4.5 million Canadian dollars. A quick review of peer group companies exploring for silver and those that have developed a resource. That little bit of homework over the weekend tells me that while a company is on its way but hasn't yet fully identified its deposit, those market caps are ranging between 20 and 50 million Canadian dollars. And for those companies that have taken that deposit and quantified it into a resource, market values are between 50 and 150 million dollars. And therein is the leverage, or therein lies the leverage for companies doing early stage exploration for new silver mineralization and new silver deposits. Even a sniff of encouragement of additional silver values, the location perhaps of another lens at Ainsworth through trenching, more sampling and drilling coming up in the spring at Kettle Valley. We believe that that positions the company for a strong levered move in a rising silver environment. And we'll conclude by saying that we're expecting any day now final geochemical sampling results from our September program at Ainsworth. When those results are combined with our geophysical work, we will have news about the Ainsworth project, where our targets exist for exploration next spring. We will do a video on that, and likewise this early November sampling at Kettle Valley. We expect those results perhaps as early as Christmas, but certainly early in the new year. And again, we will have news and videos on that. So very exciting time to be in the precious metal space. Really exciting time to have two high quality silver exploration assets at a time when silver is breaking out. And as usual, stay tuned.